Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. It is crafting season and I am here with the first Christmas card of the season. It's a Wonder Recipe card, and if you hang around the kitchen table stamper at all, you know that a Wonder Recipe is a 6x6 one-sheet wonder. So this Wonder Recipe yields 4 cards, and what you do is you take a 6x6 sheet of designer series paper. In this case, I have a piece of Christmas Around the World. I cut this one down to 6x6, and then I cut it in half, and then we're going to cut it in half again. Let me get my trimmer in here, and 3 inches. So we've got 3-inch square, and this Wonder Recipe will make 4 cards. Okay, so we've got these 2 that we've just cut, the one on my sample card, and one right here. This Wonder Recipe will yield 4 cards. Let me show you the Christmas Around the World paper while I've got it here. I love this. It's a 12 by 12. I cut it down to 6 by 6 for the video, and for paper samplers, I do paper samplers for my team. And it's got a really cool B-side patterns. They're all very, you know, kind of neutral, generic. You can do a lot with these. And then the other side has got these great multicolor Christmas patterns. I am in love with the B-sides of these papers. I love the snowflake. Oh my gosh, but look at that. Look how cute that is. And then the red and white stripe. And then it's got really Christmas Around the World. Look at all those tiny little koalas and a moose. Very cool. Here's another plaid. Love that. Backside of that is nutcrackers. Can't go wrong with nutcrackers. And then this one with the old olive and the peppermints. On the back there's leaves and wreaths and bows and presents. Okay, so this is the one that we're using. We've cut it into 4 equal pieces, and now let's make the card. Okay, to make this card, these are the Stampin' Up! Products that you'll need. I have the Sparkle Embossing folder, which we're going to use on the old olive card base. My stamp is from Seasonal Chums. We're going to use Little Reindeer and the Merry Christmas Greeting. We are using a couple of die sets from the holiday catalog to embellish this card. I've got this little circles from the piece right here, and Trim Your Stocking. It looks like a Lego. It cuts 8 little circles, and we're going to use that for the holly berries. The holly leaves, perfect size to coordinate with that, are found in Quilt Builder Framelits. And the Card Front Builder Framelits has these 2 pine trees. I'm also using the Layering Circles Framelits for this little scallop circle. And this little scallop circle coordinates with the 1 3/8 and the 1 1/4 punch. I've already punched those out for you. So we've got 1 1/4, 1 3/8. Here's our little scallop circle, and those layer nicely. The leaves and berries and my little pine trees are all cut. The rest of the consumable materials are 8 inches and 4 inches of silver, 1/8 inch silver ribbon, 2 by 3 basic black, 2 1/4 by 3 watercolor paper, and 8 by 5.5 card base scored at 4 1/4. Now, if you didn't catch those measurements, don't worry. There's a printable project sheet at KitchenTableStamper.com. And there's also a cutting diagram for the one-sheet wonder, the 6x6 one-sheet wonder. This is Wonder Recipe number 5. There's 5 different recipes on KitchenTableStamper.com to get you stamping. Okay, basic black ink pad, some Wink of Stella. We're going to color with many marvelous markers and a blender pen. Let me grab some of those colors real quick. I've got, let's see here, chocolate chip and real red, and a little bit of soft suede, some powder pink, and a bit of basic gray. I've got embossing paste and some diamond glitter, as well as this triangle shaped palette knife. That's how we're going to do this beautiful snow effect on the trees. So let's start with that because we're gonna have to dry that. Let me clear some space and we're gonna work on those little trees before we get started on the card. Okay, I've got my embossing paste, my palette knife, and my tree die cut. And I'm gonna pick up just the littlest bit on the edge of my palette knife, and then I'm gonna carefully flick a little bit on each of these branches. Now this is gonna take just a minute. It's a little bit detailed, and you don't want it to be too heavy. You just want to look like the snow that accumulated on the edge of the branches here, and a little bit at the top of the tree, and then we're gonna go back down the other side. And you can see a little bit really goes a long way. Just keep moving it along down the branches. And then I'm gonna go across the back and just pick up any of the paste that's on the back of the die and then transfer it to the front. We should see all that pretty snow on the front of our die cut, not on the back. And you saw how little I started with, and I'm still just keep spreading it along these branches. You don't need a lot. I'm gonna go back and get just a bit more so I can finish up. Okay, when you're pretty happy with the snow on your branches, again, just go to the back and scrape away any excess paste that might be hanging around the back of your tree. And then we're gonna set this aside for just a second and get our heat tool. Now, the embossing paste dries very fast, so you wanna handle this right away. You saw I scraped the excess off the palette knife, and then I'm going to clean the palette knife with a baby wipe, otherwise it's gonna get crusty. You can also just run this to the tap and rinse off the excess. But whatever you do, just make sure you clean up right away. Now I've got a clothespin here, and for the safety of my fingers, I'm going to grab my little tree with a clothespin, and then I'm going to heat the paste with the heat tool. Now you want to be very careful not to burn your paper. You just want to dry that paste. I've got my diamond glitter over here, and I'm going to take this fine tip glue pen and add a little bit of glue on top of these little snow crusts. So I'm just touching all the little tips and edges with the glue. And that's really going to make our snow glisten. Okay, so I got the little fine tip glue on there, and I'm going to just spoon the glitter right over the tree, collecting all the excess in that little tub. That's how I do it in classes too. Really contains the glitter mess. And there we are. Look at our beautiful snow-tipped glistening pine trees. Isn't that fun? All right, we'll set that aside and let that continue to dry while we work on the rest of the card. Okay, the next thing we'll do is Stampin' Up and color our little reindeer. So I'm going to take a little bit of low-tack tape. I've got a little washi tape here, and I'm going to just mask off the top of the back side of the deer here because I only want the front side image. Got my basic black ink pad. I'll ink up my deer and then remove the tape. Now I'm going to stamp my little reindeer on this piece of watercolor paper. We want to stamp him off to the right and leave some room for the trees. Ha, he's so cute. And while we're stamping, let's grab that little 1 1/4 inch circle and get our greeting stamped on there. So we're going to go low of center because we're going to add the holly berry decoration on the top and stamp the Merry Christmas. Okay, so we're on watercolor paper and we're going to color this image. I've got an acrylic block here, and I'm going to scribble down some chocolate chip and pick up from the block with the blender pen and color in my little reindeer. We're going to start in areas that would have some shadow, like under his neck, there on his neck, under his chin. and then move away to areas that would be more in the light, like his little rump here. And we'll pick up some more color and work in an area that would be shadowed, like his back leg here and his hind leg here. And then we'll move back into an area that would be more in the light as our pen runs out of color. And we get kind of a natural shading as the blender pen clears the color. Now same here, we're going to start in this kind of shadowy area at his neck and chin and move up into the face. And I'm going to put some powder pink on my block. And I'm going to make sure that my pen is clean. A little scratch paper here, and I'm just going to make sure my pen is clean. And then I'm going to pick up some of that powder pink and go into the ear here. And then the little speckles on a deer's rump can go with the powder pink. Pick up a little bit more of the chocolate chip and get some of the details at the ear here. Blending the chocolate chip into that powder pink. Okay, clean my blender pen, and now I've got my soft suede. Put a little bit of soft suede. Now the soft suede looks a little bit green when you get to the blender pen, so you want to pick up quite a bit and fill in the hooves. So we're going to do a real full strength coverage here. We want it to look soft suede and not green. We'll do the antlers. And then clean your brush. Now I've got real red. I'll put some of that on the block here. And we're also going to go in and just color that nose. We want that to be nice and bold. I left just the tiniest little bit as a highlight. And we can touch that with the blender pen then. Alright, now coloring in the bow. I'm using just kind of a light wash, and then I'll go back and pick up extra color and add some shadow. So we get some depth and dimension. Okay, clean my brush tip again. And then if there's anything that you're not happy with, like here I feel like it got out of the line a little bit on his nose, so I'm gonna kind of whisk away that color with the clean tip. And then here I feel like I'm out of the lines a little bit. A clean tip will whisk away the color and kind of give you a fresh start. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Oh, you know what I forgot? The little bell. I got some basic gray. I'm gonna make sure that my point is impeccably clean because we were on red. And I'm gonna get in there with a little basic gray and color the bell. And I'm leaving a white space, like a highlight. All right, I'm gonna get the Big Shot and we'll do some embossing now. I've got the Big Shot we need to set up for embossing. So I've taken out the thin die adapter and we've got a cutting pad. Now we'll put our card base into our embossing folder. And then we're gonna check placement, make sure we like where the pattern's lining up, and then drop the whole card open into the Big Shot. Another cutting pad over the top. And then we'll send that through. And look at that. I just love an embossed card front. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, let's assemble this card, shall we? I've got my basic black cardstock and snail adhesive, and down the right hand side of this piece of basic black we're going to run a line of snail, and then we're going to layer our designer series paper over. So we're going to overlap by about, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of an inch, and make sure it's straight. Okay, so we've got our two pieces for our mat put together. Now our little deer can add Rudolph on with some snail. Now next up is our little snow-laden trees. I've got a little multi-purpose liquid glue. I find that that's going to give us a little bit more coverage on these branches here. And I'm just kind of streaking it all up the back. They're so pretty. All right, next we've got the 4-inch piece of silver ribbon. So on the back of this panel that we're decorating, let's use some tear and tape. We're gonna go all the way across the top and the bottom, which will give us a secure hold when we put it on our embossed card base. We're going to take this 4-inch piece of ribbon and place it over where the designer series paper meets the black cardstock, and then we'll just stick it to that tear and tape that's already on the back. There, and we're all ready to adhere that to the card base now. About 1 inch from top and all the way to the left fold. Then we've got the 8-inch piece here, and we'll slide under and we'll tie a bow. No need for an anchor knot, just slide, make a loop over the top, finger to finger, and pull, and you get the perfect little bow. Hold the center, pull the tails, and adjust the sides of the loops. Now let's work on our little tag here. So we've got our Merry Christmas, and we are going to glue it to the real red circle with some multi-purpose liquid. Then we'll glue the real red to the basic black scallop using some Stampin' Dimensionals. Oh, what a cutie. All right, so our leaves, the hollies, need to go on the tag, and we're just gonna put them on with some multi-purpose liquid glue. And then to get the little berries, we'll make 3 dots, little tiny dots of glue, and then we'll take a paper piercer and touch the glue. You just touch it, you don't need much on there. I moved my leaf. And then use that sticky piercer to pick up the berries and drop them in the little dabs of glue that you made. Nice and tidy. Makes fussy work so much easier. All right, then we're gonna slide this bow down, and if you just hold that 4-inch piece of ribbon and slide the 8-inch piece, you can adjust your placement of your bow. And then I'm going to put some more tear and tape on the back of my tag. I'm actually going to use quite a bit because it's going over the fabric of the ribbon and sticking to the texture on the card, so you want some good adhesion there. You could also grab some glue dots and put it on with some glue dots if you like. So there's my cute little Merry Christmas tag. We're going to position that right up against the bow. Last step, let's trim some of the excess ribbon. Make a pretty end. Okay, then a little bit of Winka Stella on that bow. That's just a little thing that adds so much beauty. It's all in the details. All right, so there it is, the very first Christmas card of the season at Kitchen Table Stamper. Seasonal Chums Merry Christmas. It's a one-sheet wonder, so you can make 4 of these cards with that same 6x6 piece of Christmas Around the World plaid. If you've got any questions about the project, if you'd like to get the project sheet, the one-sheet wonder cutting diagram, head on over to kitchentablestamper.com. They're there for you to print. If there's anything I can do for you to help you stay crafty, email me, Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. Thanks for watching.